You suddenly appear on the stage of America's Got Talent. 1. Oh, people are clapping and cheering. The crowd goes silent. And Simon Cowell tells you to start. What talent do you perform? I come up with an incredible backstory of being bullied and abused, causing me to be afraid of being in front of everyone. Then I tell a lame-ass joke or two and start my journey to the finals. This guy watches AGT. Seriously. If you don't have that pity me backstory, you're not going far. It's often comical when you get what would be an okay talent that gets golden buzzed through to the live show because of the sad backstory, and then you see them on stage with the people who fought tooth and nail through the other rounds and gasp are far more talented, and they just look so awful in comparison. The teen girl who was a cancer survivor at a young age is who I often think of this. Like she had a good voice for a high school student. She probably would have been a solid lead actress in her high school plays and maybe for the local theater group. But there's zero chance if she just walked out and said, "I'm from Everytown, USA and I'm a singer," and sang her song, that she'd have even gotten past the primary audition. Once that initial heartstring tugging moment fades off, these people often find themselves without the talent to back up the stage they're on. A live reading of the contract every contestant has to sign. It's seriously fucked. Best response: my singing teacher at college got sent one. This was years back, and she said it had been amended to include the entire solar system, where you still had to pay Cowell royalties after some band had managed to dodge paying by playing outside of countries mentioned in contract. Might have been Liberty X. That's just criminal WTF. Please elaborate. Put very simply, they own everything you've ever created and ever will create, as well as having near total control over everything you say and do publicly. Biggest panic attack ever. What would you do in the semi-finals? Well, I've seen the show. So same thing as in the audition, but with backup dancers, some laser effects, and fireworks at the end. Stare Simon right in the eye without blinking until he gives in. You know Simon is an evil robot and will never blink. Right? Yeah, but Nightwolf 75 is an eviler robot that will never blink even more. Perform a formal apology about wasting their time for the solid minute and a half. What would you do in the semi-finals? Beg for forgiveness. Recite pi to 200 digits with a smattering of errors and then play Dance Dance Revolution on hard mode. Reciting pi but getting every digit wrong is more interesting. It's like getting a 0 on the SATs. You have to get a 1600 to make that happen. But the real question is, can you do them both at the same time? Edit 1. Holy moly guys. This my most liked comment so far. Thank you all. I love you. Recite the entire script of the B-movie. What would you do in the semi-finals? Obviously recite the entire script of Shrek. Right? How did you guess? I can fit my whole fist in my mouth. Wanna see? How would you top that unbelievable talent in the semi-finals? Someone would have to have ESPN or something and predict the weather with their boobs. Wasting people's time. And I'll stand there silently until someone finally gets uncomfortable enough to ask me to leave. But there I'll stand, silent, until they have me forcefully removed. Best thing I've read all week, and I read a lot. Gonna jump head first onto the stage floor. Break my nose. Hopefully get a concussion. Never have to remember this ever again. For your fearlessness and sheer bravery of jumping head first onto the stage floor. You have won America's Got Talent. What do you have to say to all the people out there? Where am I? Fitting as many profanities as I can into a single sentence because what the flying hell am I doing on stage? I'm taking that idea and writing that on a piece of paper for my next audition. I lay on my back on the floor, put my feet up to my head, and proceed to repeatedly suck air into my ass and fart it back out. Been a couple of decades, but I probably still got it. I would lay money on you attempting this at some point in the next 24 hours just to see if you still can. If you haven't already. Crying. It is quite a talent to cry on demand. You're through to the next round. What do you perform in the semi-finals? Breaking down and crying, then spontaneously tap dancing. Outstanding. What do you perform in the semi-finals? And for my previous trick, I erased the last 5 minutes of your memory. Thank you for being a fantastic audience. Back to you, Simon. Brilliant. I say bye and walk out 'cause I'm talentless. You walk out, only to enter another stage. But this time, there's 2,000 people. What do you do now? You are probably a great psychological horror story writer. That's some bad dream situation. I start singing Cotton Eye Joe in the wrong key. Accidentally make eye contact with Simon Cowell. Dry heave. False alarm. No. Wait. This is it. Panic vomit. Trip on my own vomit. Start crying. Try to grasp the microphone stand for stability. Miss. Finally grab it. Pull it down with me. The microphone is now in the vomit. I say sorry into the microphone. There's loud grating feedback reverberating through the auditorium. The audience covers their ears. Simon Cowell's mouth still has not closed. Pa are running from off stage. The cameras are turned off and an ad for your local Kia dealership begins playing. You should be driving a Kia is heard in living rooms throughout the country. The audience is visibly uncomfortable. Mel B has begun to dry heave as well. A PA is trying to pick me up, but he also trips on my vomit. And a snot bubble appears in my nostril. Popping. And finally the background music is shut off and a second and third PA have arrived to clear me off the stage. My moment in the limelight has passed me by as quickly as it arrived. Then, you wake up in your bed. It's morning. The sun is shining and the birds are singing. What do you have for breakfast? Stand-up comedy. You spit your first joke. Crowd is silent. You try another. Nothing. What do you do now? Turn into Joker. Somebody once told me, the world is gonna roll me. So when I was younger, people would laugh at me when I told them that I was going to become a comedian. Well, I'm grown up now and no one's laughing anymore. Simon will shit his pants. 2 grams of coke. What would you smoke in the semi-finals? I reenact the JFK assassination with the actual dead, rotting body of John F. Kennedy. I hope I get the golden buzzer. I would reenact the assassination of Hitler instead. Stand on my hands on a really odd way. Only met one other person who can do it the way I do, and they were in gymnastics their entire life. I wrap my legs around my arms and look kind of like a crab. Fascinating. How do you outperform yourself in the semi-finals? I start with a fake tragic story of how my little brother is suffering of a disease and say that I'll use the money to pay for treatment. Step 2. Step 3. Profit. Asterisk golden buzzer, asterisk. The helicopter with my dick. Slams golden buzzer. Crying and masturbating. Just another day in the office. Really.